Hi friends, let's talk about our activities this week. The first activity that you might have received from me is a bunch of cards. You see these cards? So you figure out how many people are playing, and you can play this with all kinds of people in your house. And just make sure that you at least have one mouth card, and then the rest should be listening cards. So say we have 3 people. I would put the rest of the listening cards away and have one mouth card and 2 listening cards. And then just mix them up, and each person gets a card. And then you look at your card, and whoever has the mouth card gets to talk. And it's their turn to tell a story or tell a joke or sing a song, and no one else can talk. Everyone else has to listen. And then you let them talk for a couple of minutes until they're done with their story or their song or whatever. And then you put all the cards back together and you shuffle them back up and you deal them back out, and hopefully someone else has a turn. And this is a good practice in getting your kids ready for school, for learning how to take turns. It's good for teaching that most of the time we're going to have to listen, but every once in a while we get a turn to talk. 30 seconds really is all you need to give the speaker. This also helps develop language, cognitive, because they're playing a game and they have to be able to do it. Social emotional, because they have to be able to regulate themselves and keep their mouths closed if it's not their turn to talk. That's a really big one. Now, if your kid is not quite as old, then you might have one that says, how do I sound? And that's talking and taking turns in conversation. It's also fun for them to hear how they actually sound. So don't record their video, but record their audio if you can, so that way they can hear their voice and play it back to them. So, like you can ask some questions if they don't know what to say, like, what do you say when you first wake up? Or what do you say, what do you do with this toy? And prompt them. And so have a little conversation, and then listen back to the conversation with the child and talk about it. So once again, it's learning about themselves, so that way they can increase their communication skills. If they're a little smaller, I might have given you a mirror play activity. Mirror play, put that child up in front of the mirror and let them play. Okay, so between 18 and 14 months is when they're starting to figure out that maybe this reflection that they see is controlled by them. Just maybe. It's a little tricky. But so you can say, see your eyes, and point to their eyes here, and then point to them on the screen too. So that way they can see it. Point to them on the mirror, I'm sorry. Cover up the mirror and say, oh, where did the baby go? And uncover it. So just play with the baby in the mirror. And then if your baby's even smaller, maybe I gave you something about baby games. And once again, this is anticipating, interacting, and taking turns. So it's putting the baby in front of you, talking to the baby, and then waiting and seeing what the baby does. Maybe imitating the baby's sounds, imitating the baby's facial movements, and then seeing if the baby imitates yours back. So, and then with the caregiving routines, same kind of thing. You're talking to that baby. Talk to that baby. That's your turn to talk to the baby, no matter what you're doing with baby. Like, oh, we're going to change your diaper now. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a mess. Ooh, smelly. And then if that baby makes some noise, you stop and you listen. And then repeat back to them what you hear them say. So those are our talking and listening activities for this week. I hope you enjoy.